there both of you were in marital bliss, having a great time loving each other and getting to know one another. And then all of a sudden, here comes the problems that everybody told you that was going to come. Even though you may have been aware that they're coming, they still hit you by surprise. And now, though the love is still there, you're having a problem with the conflict that you're going through. Every now and then, if you cannot fix issues within your relationship, you may need to step outside of the two of you and go see someone that will listen to both sides and hear what you both have to say, and they can help you with your relationship. In this episode of the Relationship Therapy Podcast, we found just that someone. So make sure you take time to listen.
Everyone listen up, because it's time for the Relationship Therapy Podcast with your host, Tony Miller Sr., and co-host, Valerie Miller. They are going to do their best to take your relationship to the next level. Whether you are married or whether you are dating, Tony and Valerie are going to give you the hard facts and solid principles you need to strengthen your relationship. Now, here are your hosts, Tony and Valerie.
Hello, everybody. This is your host, Tony Miller Sr.
And your co-host, Valerie Miller. Welcome to another episode of the Relationship Therapy Podcast.
And we're so glad that you're tuned in, because we've got some friends of ours that we're going to be doing an interview for. Do you know the name of the friends, Valerie?
Vivian and Ben Vivian Ross.
Yes, we're excited about them because they're going to give us some great information about relationships, their own relationships, and even other relationships. So I advise you to stay with us, sit down, relax, and get ready for a great interview on this episode of the Relationship Therapy Podcast. Listen, we've got some special guests with us in this episode of the Relationship Therapy Podcast, and we cannot wait. I'm so excited that they finally said yes to sit down with us. And this is none other than Ben and Vivian Ross. Thank y'all. How y'all doing today?
Good evening. Doing fine. How are you?
Doing great. Doing great. How are you doing, Valerie?
I'm doing great. Doing great.
All right. Well, you guys are ready for this?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Okay. Well,
We're excited. We're excited.
You're excited? Okay. Well, you want to start, Valerie?
Sure. Ben and Vivian, Tony, and I just want to ask y'all a couple of questions, Tell us a little about yourself, Ben and Vivian. And Sister Robin, you being the lady, you can go first.
So we have been married for 23 years. I got it right.
Yeah, you got it right.
We've been married for 23 years. We have 4 kids, 7 grandkids. And he spoils all of the grandkids. All of them. When they come over to the house, he spoils them, and I go shopping.
Well, that's good. That's his job. That's what grandfather's job is.
We are the owners of Elephant in the Room counseling services. We absolutely love counseling, love the work that we do. We primarily work with couples. We do work with everybody, but we together primarily work with couples. And so we absolutely love that work. Want to add something?
Oh, that sounds good.
All right. Nothing else?
Are we sure that you guys got a lot of questions for us that will add to that?
Yes, I'm sure. I'm sure we've got some. So the first question that I have for you is, how long, well, you told us how long you've been married, but tell us, how did you meet?
Wow. Yeah, we met in prison.
Yeah, Okay, you got to tell us that.
Prison.
We worked
Break that down.
We both worked at Augusta State Medical Prison.
Oh,
I was a mental health counselor at the time. Vivian was a nurse. We were there 2 years before we even met each other. I didn't even know she was working there. One day I went on her unit where she was working to see a friend of mine, and I saw Vivian. And I asked my friend Deborah, I said, "Hey, who is that?" And Deborah grinned and looked at me and said, "She's a good girl."
okay.
I tricked him.
Good. So how did you approach her?
I saw her studying. She was studying for school, and that sparked my interest. And I think I said something to you while you were studying or something.
Yeah. He asked me about what was I studying, and at that time I was working on my bachelor's degree at that time, going to majoring in psychology. But he was already a therapist, and I was working my way to become a therapist. But I was studying psychology, and I think at that time I was taking abnormal psychology.
That's
I got
all
to
right.
diagnose him.
Well, that's good. And the rest is history, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's interesting. I don't think I've ever had anybody answer that question, whether it's on the podcast or in person. Ask them where did they meet or how did you meet? And you say you met in prison.
In prison.
Wow. Okay. Got a question, Valerie?
No, seems like they covering everything so far.
Okay.
There's another part to that story. Not just where we met, but that first date, because he was pursuing me. He was chasing me, and I ain't had time for him. So there's some more to that story, but it's probably X-rated. We probably can't talk about it on the
Well,
podcast.
let's don't talk about it here. We have a PG rating here on the podcast.
So that's why we're gonna leave that part out.
Okay. All right. What was it that drew you to Ben, Vivian?
So he is an undercover comedian, right? He has this stern, and he's making jokes, but you don't really know he's making jokes by his sternness. And I like that. You guys know me. You guys know I'm silly. And I like to laugh. And so he's really comical, and he makes me laugh. But I have to say this. Initially, I was not. I was going to school. I was recently divorced, and I was raising 2 kids, and I didn't have time. I was working full time. I really didn't have time for anybody. So that was the thing. But he was nice to talk to. And one day I was studying for a test, had a test coming up. The kids was running around crazy, and he called me on the phone, and he was like, "Well, what are you doing?" And I said, "I'm studying. I don't have time to talk." And he said, "Well, come on the porch. Meet me on your porch in 5 minutes." And in my brain, I'm like, that's another distraction. I can't do this. No. But he was just like, "Meet me on the porch in 5 minutes." So I stepped out on the porch in 5 minutes, and he was standing on my porch, and he took my hand and he said a prayer. He asked God for peace so that I'll be able to concentrate and study on the test, for the kids to calm down. And when I walked back in the house, the kids were sitting down on the floor looking at TV like who are these kids? And it was peak. My phone didn't ring anymore the rest of the night. And I made an 8 on my test. And
All right then.
God, you trying to tell me something?
Yes, he was trying to tell you something.
So I think that's when I thought, okay, there might be something to this.
That's good. That's good stuff right there. I like that.
That really is.
Well, we found out who you are and how long you've been married and what drew one another to each other. What would you say is the exciting aspect of marriage? And either one of you can answer, or both can answer that. And then I got a follow-up after that.
Okay. You want to answer that?
Yeah, I think what's exciting about marriage is that you have a partner to do things with. You're not alone. You're not by yourself. You have a partner. I think one of the biggest things that I find exciting where you are sure that the other one can pick up. What I mean by that, a lot of times when we do things, most of the time I'm not a detailed person, so I have a general idea or a general picture on how events should go or things should take place, and she'll come right in and just boom, fill it in. She breaks down the details. So
And the
I
details.
always found that exciting because I didn't have to, stress myself out with the details. She can come plug it right in and flow with it.
Plus, it's fun. Marriage is fun. It's fun for us.
Well, it's fun for us too.
Yeah, it's fun for us too. And I think you have to make it fun. A lot of people be trying to compare their marriage to other people's marriage, but hey, to me, your marriage is your marriage.
Right, right. And he's the first person I want to talk to when something happens. He's like the first person that I'm like, hey, did you know about this? And it's just fun to me.
Yeah, that is the definition of love and marriage. Whoever that first person is when something positive happens to you or you're going through a storm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Or even negative, yeah.
Yeah. So that's good. I really appreciate that answer. That is what marriage is all about. You got a question you want to ask?
Yes, we need to ask them the second part. Like they said, what was exciting about the aspect of marriage. Now, could either one of you answer the question, what is least exciting about being married?
For me, one of the least exciting things about being married is when Ben is mad at me. Even when I know that I've done something, because most of the time it's him that does something. So Ben holds on to things. He'll hold on to things for, I don't, right? I'm ready to just let's talk about it or let's not talk about it. But we can talk about it. Because we think that we are experts when it comes to conflict resolution. We don't leave anything unresolved. Right. And so let's go ahead and resolve it so we can get back to having fun, right? But he don't always want to resolve it right away. He got to hold on to it for a little while, just to try to judge me a little bit, I guess.
Yeah.
To me, that's the worst part because I like to talk and I like to have fun. And if he's not talking to me, I got a problem.
Well, let him have his anger. Let him have it just a little bit longer, just a little bit. Sometimes we like to drag it out just for the sake of dragging it out. And I'm sure we love the makeup, right?
Oh, yeah. we like that makeup. I know I do. I don't know about you.
I think
all right. Well, listen, y'all told us in your introduction that you are owners of Elephant in the Room Counseling Services, LLC. Tell us a little bit about Elephant in the Room.
Elephant in the Room is really was birthed out of you, Reverend Miller, asking us to take over couples counseling. And through that, we found that people really aren't telling you the truth in church. So Vivian and I talking, we talked about starting our own business to where we can counsel couples outside of the church. And once that happened, Vivian can tell you, people start talking then.
Yeah. We now it's a mental health counseling private practice. And we don't turn anybody away from services. So anybody that needs mental health services, we're going to make sure that we provide that service. We currently have 10 therapists who work for us or with us, I should say. It's an all Black practice. We don't turn anybody away from services, but all of our staff is Black at this time. And we're currently excited about being able to provide jobs for our community. And I think that's great to be able to do that. But like you said, we remember one day when you was like, hey, I want y'all to take over the couples ministry at church. And we kind of laughed about it because we was like, man, you're going to have the folks in church getting divorced. But when you finally surrender to what God has for you, it's amazing what happens to that. And so we enjoy working together and working with couples. So we primarily work with couples, but our therapists work with families, individuals. We work with anybody ages 5 to 125.
Oh, that's good. That's good, Sister Ross. And since you said that, I got a question, Tony. I know we got some other questions, but I want to just shoot this at Sister Ross because I don't think I could do it. I mean, I love Tony and everything, but is it hard working with Ben every day? Because I love Reverend Miller, but I just don't think I can work with him. I just don't think I can work with him.
But I will say this: we, when we met, we were working together.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think that that's the foundation because we met working together. We met on a job, and since then we've had about 3 other jobs that we worked together.
Yeah.
So Elephant in the Room is no different than anything else because we started out working together, laid that foundation. You never know what God is doing. God always working it out. So by us meeting at work and then continuing to work together at different agencies, doing Elephant in the Room, working side by side with him every day is pretty easy.
But is it different in an aspect that you're the owners? Does that change the dynamic at all?
Most definitely is different. The change, you got to be willing from a male standpoint. You have to be willing to give in and not want to lead or be the dominant one. That because she's the licensed one. I'm not licensed yet. So therefore I fall under her supervision in counseling, even though I have more experience. And I've never had a problem following Vivian as far as the business aspect, because to me, God laid it on my heart that I would support her in her business venture. So he laid on me that I must support her with what she wants to do. Because I always felt like, hey, you working bouncing to these different jobs, you'll never be happy working for someone else. So you need to start your own business. So I knew that I had to support her in that arena.
Oh, that's good.
But it's important. I'm the clinical director, and he has to follow, and I got to check his notes. I got to check behind him and things like that. But he write my check. So if I piss him off at the job, I might not get a check. And then I'll be like, hey, why I didn't get paid? And he's like, oh, you ain't get paid?
Oh, that is so good, baby. That's really good.
Yeah, it is.
Really good.
Well, let me ask this question. With y'all doing marital counseling professionally, how has that strengthened or maybe even hurt your marriage? Which way has it gone? And then tell me how, if it is positive towards your marriage.
I think one aspect, I have to check Vivian, because even today at church, she said something to me, and I started laughing to myself. She asked me a question. I said, "Oh, no." I think she analyzes me a lot. Separate the business from the marriage. Stop analyzing me. I think the positive side of it, that when you look at other couples and their issues, I adjust accordingly, because I see a lot of the males, the issue is communication. And I'm like, wow. So the thing is, a lot of times they don't talk enough. So I realized, hey, I have to open my mouth up and talk. And when I speak, I have to speak to hear and listen, not just respond. And to me, that stands out with the couples, particularly the men.
Bingo.
Amen. We call that active listening.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm working on that, Ben.
Right.
Yeah.
But we also teach our couples a lot of tools. And I really believe that if I'm going to teach somebody some tools and how to utilize the tools, I need to see for myself whether the tools work. Earlier, I said we're experts with conflict resolution. We teach conflict resolution a lot with couples. And how can we teach conflict resolution if we don't know how to do conflict resolution ourselves? And so a lot of the tools that we give our couples, couch time, active listening, conflict resolution, It's a lot of different
Pause
tools.
and break, taking pauses and breaks.
Yeah, and fair fighting. Just a lot of the things that we teach our clients. We got to be able to model that, because we talk a lot about modeling healthy relationships, healthy marriages. A lot of people come to see us because we're a married couple, and we're going to model a healthy couple because we are a healthy couple. In order to teach that, we got to be that.
That's good. I like how you two bounce off each other. And I'm sure it helps so many couples. Matter of fact, I know one couple that you have been counseling with, and they love you guys. They love you guys. I won't name their name just in case they're listening, but they absolutely they told me one day to say thank you, thank you, thank you for uh, introducing me to the elephant in the room. So
Oh, wow.
I might start getting bird dog fees for sending people over to see her.
We got you.
Let me see. Have you had any tough situations with a particular couple or couples, or maybe even individually? And I know you can't go into great detail because of HIPAA, but can you kind of give us a little fringe version of what you've had to deal with?
Yeah, I think that when you ask that question, it was, I hate when I miss something. And we had a couple that I missed. I would have never thought that there was danger in that relationship. And it was actually really dangerous. And we completely missed it. I missed it. He missed it. I had processed it in a treatment team with my staff, and we just completely missed it. And something really bad happened with that couple. It didn't have anything to do with us, but I took ownership of it, because and we only saw them a couple of times. We probably only saw them 2 times. We only saw them 2 times, and I know that that's a short period of time, and you don't learn everything about the couples that you're working with. But I take it personal that it was something there that I completely missed. And then something later on happened. Even it was well after we stopped seeing them, and to this day, it bothers me. It still bothers me. And then it kind of helped. It kind of changed the way that I do training, because I do training with new therapists and interns, and it kind of changed the way that I do some training with my staff also. But it was a really bad situation that occurred, and I just hold on to what happened. How did I miss that? How did we miss that?
Yeah, good.
You're human for one, but I know what you mean, Sister Ross. And then, it's like you kind of like, if I just only would have caught that, maybe
Right.
it wouldn't have happened. But like you said, and because of that and due to that, that made you change your training a different route, go a different route with your training. Therefore, hopefully, prayerfully, another situation won't come up with that, up like that.
Right.
Yeah.
And there's been some times now some people wanted to come to some blogs. It's a session. They want to, and we got to either decide that Ben, I gotta tell on Ben.
Tell on
Tell it,
Sister Ross.
tell
Tell it, because he always telling it.
A couple that was about to go to blows in the session, and I used to sit on this little chair, this little stool that rolls, and so I rolled my chair in between them so they wouldn't fight, right? So that we can calm them back down, bring them back down. Ben was sitting in the back in the corner with his arms folded up. And then later on, after the couple was calm and after they left, I was like, man, you let me just be in the middle of that, breaking that up, being talking about. Yeah, they was messing up my vibe.
He knew you could handle it. He knew you could diffuse that situation. Yeah.
Okay, well, that's good. That's good. I think y'all doing a great job. And are there any type of tips that you all can get to some couples that maybe listen to this podcast today, or may listen to in the future? Because you can go back and listen to all of these podcasts that Tony records.
And I listen to the podcast too, so
thank you so much.
But one of the tips, probably one of our favorite tips because communication is so important.
Oh, yes.
And there are couples that have been married for 30 years and have zero communication issues.
Well,
But part of that is because they don't talk to each other at all.
Yeah.
And so they don't have no problems because they don't talk to each other.
okay.
But one of our favorite tools, tips that we give is what we call couch time.
I like that, Sister Rose. I like that.
Love to give couch time. And what couch time is you have to marriage, you should be intentional. You should always be intentional because people get married, they have these big plans for weddings, and then they have the wedding and get married, and now what? Right? And so we feel like marriage should always be intentional. And couch time is intentional. So with couch time, you find 30 minutes once a week. 30 minutes once a week is not a whole lot of time. We're intentional about, we go to work on time. We eat dinner every day. We eat breakfast. We have our coffee. We talk to our friends. We are intentional about so many things. So we want you to be intentional about talking to your spouse, your mate. 30 minutes once a week, turn everything off. No TV, no radio, not at the dinner.
Cell phone.
What we call it, unplugging.
No cell phones, turn everything off and just you talk to your partner for a minimum of 30 minutes. It don't matter what you talk about. You can just check in with your partner. How's your week been doing? How was your day? Or you can talk about something that's been on your heart or in your mind. But you take 30 minutes once a week to turn everything off. That means you can't be around your kids, none of that. It's just you and your mate talking about whatever it is that you want to talk about. And it's important. And it teaches, and the other part of why couch time is so important is it's one thing you're communicating with your spouse. You're going to talk to them at least 30 minutes once a week. They're getting the attention from you and you're giving them the attention that you need to give them. That's one thing. But the other thing is you're training your brain to tune into your partner. We know that it works because when you have a baby and your baby cries, you learn your baby's cry. So if your baby was in a room with a bunch of babies and your baby cried, you would know your baby in the midst of a room of a lot of other babies. Well, that's how couch time works. You turn everything off for those 30 minutes or however long, and you focus, you tune in to your mate. Eventually, what happens is 3 or 4 months down the line, you in a crowded room, or you cooking and the TV on and the kids, and your mate start talking to you, your brain instantly tunes into your mate.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Similar to our pillow talk.
Yeah.
Similar to
Yeah.
pillow talk, but it's
We call it unplugging. That's what we call it.
And I find couch time is so important because many of the issues that the couples bring up, I'll stop them and ask them, hey, did you do couch time? And they'll look at me, hold their head down and say no. But to me, I already knew that because if you were doing couch time, you could resolve a lot of things that were going on if you guys were just talking to each other.
Yeah.
That's right. That is exactly right.
I heard you guys say y'all do pillow talk. And one of the things that's important is that we do couch time. And so, because sometimes we spend so much time together, but we sometimes so busy, we don't talk about the important things, or we forget to check in with each other. So sometimes even at work, we shut the office door, we turn everything off, and we check in with each other. So we do our couch time. But you would know that couples who been married for a long time, they got some kind of thing that's programmed somewhere in their schedule or in the way that they live that gives them opportunities to talk to their spouse.
Absolutely. That's right. That's right.
I had no opportunity to not communicate. I'm married to the queen of communication. And
there you go, Val. That's what you do.
Yay.
I don't know if y'all are aware of this, but on our third date, I thought we were getting ready to just stop seeing each other because she just broke in and said, listen, I don't think this is going to work. You don't talk enough for me.
That's right. Talk to me, babe. I can't read your mind.
So I started talking more and more after that. And now she tells everybody what?
You talk too much.
Yeah. Even though I am shy by nature and I'm an introvert by nature, and don't shake your head, Vivian, don't shake your head. I am a introvert by nature, but I force myself because of so many professions that I have that warrants me talking. I talk now, but I can really easily sink into a chair and be quiet for hours without talking.
Okay.
Me, I don't think so.
That's good though. I like that tip. And you're going to get an opportunity to give information how people can get in touch with you.
Okay.
Plus, I'm going to put it in the show notes so people can know how to get in touch with you because there are so many couples. That's one of the main reasons why we started this podcast is because there were so many couples who were going through marital difficulty. And you're right. One of the main ones is communication. They
Right.
fail to communicate. So that's good. Let me ask you this. Were there any other couples that helped influence your marriage?
Okay.
Kind of like, basketball players looked up to LeBron or Kobe or Shaq or somebody. What marriages that it kind of influenced y'all a little bit?
Wow.
Cosby. The Cosby for
You know,
us, right?
both of our parents stayed married until one of them or both of them passed on. That was one thing. So we saw marriages that lasted for a long, long time. When I think about this work that we're doing, I wonder if you guys wouldn't have said take over the couples ministry. I wonder if we would even be doing this work.
Hmm.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
but we all, I think one of the things too about Compass, is that we were exposed to a lot of couples,
Yeah.
in our church, and I think that also helps because we would do couples things and we would have fun as couples together, and I think that has a lot to do with even our marriage being as healthy as it is because we were around healthy couples. And if they wasn't healthy, we didn't know it at the time.
Yeah.
But I think that really influenced us.
Yeah, because you're around a concentrated amount of married couples. They weren't all fuss and fight and anything like that.
And it wasn't 30 of us, but it was a nice group of married couples, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I would say if we had to answer that question, some of the things that influenced us was my older brother, Melvin and Sophia.
Yeah.
They just recently been married 50 years.
Uh-huh.
And then I have a sister and a brother-in-law who have been married close to 56 years.
Mhm.
So those things helped influence. Matter of fact, at my Miller Men retreat last year, and I did an interview with them. And in that interview, it was close to 250 years of marriage.
Oh, wow. Wow.
And so that legacy has lived throughout on my dad's side and my mom's side. It's been long-term marriages. In fact, I told Val when we got married, divorce is not an option.
Right. Right.
We're going to work through whatever issues, and we've had issues. We're not a perfect
Oh,
couple.
yeah.
We've had issues.
Yes, we
Say it ain't so. Say it ain't so.
Lord knows we've had issues.
Yes.
However, we're still here. We're still happy. And you use my word, we're still healthy.
Right.
And that's the good thing about it. I think we're getting close to winding down.
No.
Our answer's wrong.
She's got another question.
And as you were saying, like I want to add, like Ramel said, we have had our issues, and I think Sister Ross and Ben, that's where counseling come in.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people got married. Some people had premarital counseling. Some people don't have premarital. And Tony and I, we did have premarital counseling before we got married. And when the situation would come up, sometimes we would refer back to some of those things that we had, we went over in counseling. So I really think elephant in the room and, just you all being experts, counselor, I think that really does help a person and help people, in their marriage situation, which that will lead up to the question that I have for you all now. If a young couple or old couple, they don't have to be young. Oh, they don't have to be young because you all know. I think April, one of my childhood girlfriend, never been married, never had children. She was 59 years old, and Reverend Miller just married her and her husband, in April, 59 years old, and she is so happy, and I'm happy for her. And I told her it's all in God's timing, not me. The world want to put, well, you should have a baby then, you should get married here, but it's all in God's timing. And I also told her a long time ago, I said, marriage ain't for everybody. Having a baby ain't for everybody. I said, but what she did find out, God taught her how to love herself, love him and love herself. So when he did send her that husband, she would be ready. And so right now they're just still honeymoon and everything. They're honeymoon and everything. So that leads up to the question that I have now for you guys with elephant in the room. If you all was to have a couple that come to you all now and say that they're getting ready to be married, they want to get married, what advice would y'all give them?
Come get premarital counseling.
All right, then. I see you.
And go to elephant in the room.
That's right. We provide premarital counseling. We cover 6 areas that's required by the state, and you get a discount.
Okay. That's good. That's good.
Do you know the 6 areas by heart? Can you tell the listening audience?
Communication.
Well, I can tell you what we do.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Communicate. Well, are you ready for marriage?
Okay.
Communication, conflict resolution, financial management, sex, and family planning.
Okay. All right.
What do you do that we don't do?
Sex.
I don't do sex.
We need to add that.
I don't do sex. I stay around the fringe of it.
Okay.
Stay around the fringe of it. I know y'all, especially you, Vivian, y'all dive right into it.
Yeah.
But I stay around the fringe. I do what is marriage and what is love in the first session. Second session, I do roles and responsibilities and expectations. Then I do communication. Then conflict resolution. And then finance, family, and future. And then even blended families. I've added that piece in there when that couple when it's pertaining to that couple. And so those are the major ones I do.
Yeah. I think we do roles and responsibilities that falls under that last family planning, and as we talk, we do the prepare and enrich assessment, which covers a lot of that also. But yeah, so we kind of do those same things, except we do sex, and you stay away.
I don't have a category for sex.
Well, I'm working on it though. He's gonna get one.
I like I say, it's important. I try not to get into people's bedrooms. Even here in the podcast, I try not to get in people's bedrooms. Even when I'm counseling married couples, I stay on the fringe.
Well, we'll send them to elephant in the room then, because Vivian and Ben are getting the bedroom.
I'll say, I'll meet somebody. Y'all want to talk about sex? Go see the Rosses at Elephant in the Room.
But here's the thing that I would think. But this is probably one of the things that we learned working before we started Elephant in the Room, is that if they're not married, so if we're doing premarital counseling, they're not married. It's probably a little difficult to tell the pastor we having sex versus telling us they having sex.
Right.
Even though it's more common now than what it used to be, it's still, if you're not married and you telling the pastor you having sex, they might feel some kind of way.
Right.
They probably won't really open up to you about what's happening in the bedroom like they would open up to us to talk about what's happening at the bedroom. Now we always start with when we first on the first session, we want to know if their marriage is going to be based on the biblical principles, right?
Mhm.
Are they Christians? You know, that because that dictates the direction that we go in with the work that we do for premarital. If somebody comes in there and tell us they're not believers, they don't want any scriptures or anything like that, then we respect that. But most of the time, they come to us for premarital counseling, and they know they've seen our background, and so they know. And Ben gives them scriptures after every section that we talk about, even sex. He gives them scriptures from the Bible that go along with sex.
That's right. It's in the Bible. That's why you should discuss it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, maybe I will add that 3-letter word to my teaching, my premarital teaching. Yeah. Listen, I have enjoyed it. I'm sure, Valerie, you've enjoyed
Oh,
this.
yeah. I want to keep going. We're going to have to go out the podcast.
I have to go after the podcast with this because, you know, I know what Val wants to ask y'all now about sex. That's what she want to ask y'all about sex. But,
can I say something, Rev Miller? And you all, this is just coming from me, Val, Sister Miller. When we was dating, I said sex, but I feel like when you get married, it's making love. Okay? When you're dating, you're having sex. But when you get married, to me, you're making love. Because God has ordained that, and it's okay now to make love.
Now, maybe I can teach about making love.
Okay.
I might that. I feel a little bit better. I feel a little bit easier with making love. But I guess I'm just a little old-fashioned, a little squeamish about talking to couples about making love.
But it's in the word.
I understand.
God
and I'm sure
and
I'm sure they're going to participate heartily in that. But
ain't no babies coming if they not.
Yeah.
And if they coming to you for premarital and they already have kids, might as well talk about it.
Yeah. You're right. I've learned something today.
Yeah.
I learned something from a Butler High School graduate. I can't believe that.
Yeah. You want them to have a healthy marriage. And that's part of having a healthy marriage. Right? Because one of the things we talk about is don't be you mad, so you holding back sex, right? You're not having sex with your partner because you're mad at him, or you utilize that as a tool to get what you want. You know, that's not healthy.
That's not healthy.
No, my grandmama told me that. Don't do that, honey. Don't do that.
I quickly point out Ephesians to him too.
Ephesians, yeah.
Chapter 5, after 20, I think 22 to 31.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's good. That is good. I know that, Ben. I can teach it that way then.
Yeah, you sure can. You sure can.
Go straight biblical on it and still be around the friends.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. Well, listen, that is good. I thank y'all so much. I think you're going to help so many people who will be listening to this, and we're probably going to have y'all back. I'm sure.
I know we will. Yeah.
I'm sure of it. So we can get a little bit more in depth to some of the teaching that you're doing and just how you approach certain situations. I'm sure we approach them maybe in a different way. I see that we kind of using the same format, but I know in your profession, you're seeing more couples because you're seeing them almost daily or at least weekly. Mine comes up periodically.
People get married, want to get married.
Matter of fact, I'm talking more to single females now who are wanting counseling. And so that's kind of prompted us to kind of do a episode in the future of what you should be looking for in a relationship, in a mate, both male and female. And so we're going to be doing that real soon.
Okay. Oh, that's good. That's good.
But thank y'all so much. Do y'all have any last words before we let you go?
Val, keep talking to him. Just keep talking.
I am.
And keep laughing. I think that's one of the best things about marriage is the laughter. And so as long as you laughing, I think that's great.
Oh,
that
I
we
really
can
keep
ask
them
them.
laughing, and I don't even be trying to.
Like you said, Ben was a low-key comedian.
Uh-huh.
Here at this house, she should have her own sitcom.
Barbara Bryant said that. Y'all remember Barbara? She said
Uh-huh.
that.
Yes, she should have her
Mhm.
sitcom.
I believe that.
Yeah.
I don't be even trying, y'all. I'm just being me, you know?
See, we're like Abbott and Costello. I'm a straight man, and she's a comedian.
Okay.
She's like the African American Lucille Ball. That's
Oh,
what
okay.
she'll get into
Okay.
situations and then
Yeah, y'all. I mean, really?
so y'all can start calling me Ricky. Y'all never gave me a nickname. Just call me Ricky.
'Cause
Yeah.
I'm definitely lucid. Dale can't stand it, but I'm lucid. And don't even try to be lucid. I really don't.
But thank y'all so much. Listen, how can we get in touch with you or somebody who's in need of counseling in any form? How can they get in touch with Elephant in the Room?
Well, we're located at 2101 Central Avenue in Augusta, Georgia. We can be reached at 706-750-2809. We can be reached on info@eitr.com or even elephantroom0108 @gmail.com.
We're
Oh,
also
that's
on
good.
Facebook. Elephant in the Room Counseling Services is on Facebook. So they can send us a message on Facebook also.
Okay,
And we'll
that's
find
good.
it.
That's good. I didn't know about the Facebook. That is good.
Yeah.
All right.
And we have a website,
Oh, yeah.
Elephant in the Room, www.elephantintheroomcounseling services or www.eitrcounseling.com.
Okay. Y'all send me all of that information so that I
Okay.
can put it in the show notes so that anybody who needs to come see you guys, they'll have that information because I think it's valuable information. And Valerie, you got anything else that you want to add?
No, I just think they did an excellent job, which I knew they would. And I'm looking forward to the interview off the podcast.
Val, you did so good. I'm glad you co-hosted. The podcast has gotten so much better since you've been on it.
Oh my God. Well, thank you. I'm trying.
And I figured it would be. I
To
figured
God
it
be
would
the
be.
glory.
She adds a different flavor to it and a
Representative,
different
you did
perspective.
good with that.
Yeah.
That was good putting her on the podcast.
Yeah.
Well, thank
All
you,
right.
Sister Rose. And like I said, you and Ben, y'all do an excellent job with Elephant in the Room and just Vivian being themselves. Because, you know, we go way back. We've been knowing it all forever. So you all
It's
family
like
to
it's
us.
been what, close to 25 years or more?
Yeah, because y'all were at the wedding, so it's definitely been about 25 years.
And we
Wow.
was at New Zion Hill together, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So that's awesome. That's awesome. Well, listen, we thank you for being here and we're going to let you go. And I'm sure we're going to get some big numbers on this listening together. So thank you again, Ben and Vivian Ross of Elephant in the Room, LLC. God bless
Thank
you.
you for
God
having
bless
us.
you. All right. You got something else?
Yes, I wanted to ask you, Pastor, when will the audience be able to hear this podcast? When will this air out for the people to hear?
It possibly could be aired tomorrow after I do some editing and everything. We might get it aired for August the 19th.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Okay. That's
All right.
Yeah.
Thank
all
you.
right.
Thank
We
you, guys. And y'all have a great day.
God
Thank
bless
you.
you.
You do the same.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Well, there you have it. That's the interview with Ben and Vivian Ross. We thank them for coming in and adding value to this particular episode. Valerie, you loved that, didn't you? That was a great episode.
I really did, Tony. And my favorite part was the couch talk.
Yes, that couch talk was great. It's something similar to what we talk about when we talk about being unplugged, and it was great. Well, listen, we're going to get out of here. I hope you enjoyed it, and you can still get in touch with us at TM Relationship Therapy Podcast. Thank you, Ben and Vivian, for being on this episode. And remember, it takes two to make a relationship work.
Thank you for listening to the Relationship Therapy Podcast with Tony and Valerie Miller. We hope that you enjoyed this episode. Tune in next time for more insight on how to make your relationship better. If you have any questions, please email us at tmrelationshiptherapy@gmail.com. We would love to hear from you. Until next time, remember, it takes two to make a relationship work.